Everybody, it's me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, for Live Talk Forum here on Sunday nights, 7:15, for the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. Tonight's show is our Live Talk Forum, right? So we are here tonight to answer your questions and give you the latest wisdom, gifts, tools, love, energy, magic that we get from God. We have a live audience every Sunday night, as well as our audience here on Facebook, right? So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. We're going to answer questions for everybody. This is what this forum is about, to ask any and all questions about things that are going on in your life, things that are happening with your friends, whether it's in an earth world way or a metaphysical way. If you want to know about, why you feel like there's an energy in your house, or, if your friend is having a hard time in earth world, or you have questions about different dimensions, or whatever it is that you feel you want to ask about, this is the forum to share with you wisdom about the times, what's going on in the world today, what's going on with health, what's going on everywhere and anywhere in our lives. This is the open forum to talk about anything and any questions that you have, okay? So tonight, this is what this show is about. I'm going to wait a few minutes. A few of you guys, here's some of my regulars. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rachel. Is that Sarah? Hi, Sarah. Thank you all for coming. All right, so we're just getting started here. We're live on Facebook. This show is on donation, so if you could donate, that would be great. You can send your donations to our shopping center here in Virginia Beach, the Institute for Christ Consciousness. Rachel will put up the links, as well as you can donate to us on Venmo and PayPal, right? Okay, so we talked about what the show is about. We have a live audience here tonight. It's still quiet yet, so I feel like more people will start to be rolling in, but thank you guys for coming on the internet, and thank you, Eliza, for coming as well. Thanks for coming. Tonight I'm with Sophia to my right, who is sitting in for Jennifer tonight. She's busy tonight. And then to my left is Rachel. Rachel's back from her Easter holiday vacation. Okay, so tonight we're going to first start out with questions from last week, and then we're going to start with your questions from the audience as well. Also, we're going to talk about what's the latest information, gifts, tools, guidance, wisdom about what is coming in the future, the God's honest truth about all the conspiracy theory stuff out there. So get your notebooks and your pens or whatever, and get ready, because you're going to learn a lot of truths that are kind of hard to believe, as well as what wisdom, God, love, energy is telling me as well. What the truth is. I have people who send me videos from all over the world. I've been talking to somebody from London just recently, on and off, and there's several people actually I talk to from London, Australia, and all over the country. And what's cool about this is they tell you the truth about what the American government is really up to, not what you see on the propaganda. They say, over here in Australia, this is happening, and you wouldn't believe what the American government is doing over here, or in Ukraine, or here. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? And it's crazy shit, right? But I'm talking about a lot of videos. I mean, my associate or my friend, like you guys are my friends too, my soul family, right? I have Jake who sends me stuff from Florida, anything he finds guided by higher knowing, right? So universe, right, sends me all these videos. It's ask and you shall what? Receive, right? So I ask God every day, what's the God's honest truth, God? What's coming in our future? What's coming in the collective? What's coming for me? What do I have to do? What do I need to know about? What do I need to share with the people so that the people can prepare and get ready and be aware? Because knowledge or wisdom, right? Wisdom is everything. Knowledge wisdom is a form of knowledge, right? But it is the ultimate knowledge, right? No, wisdom is everything that is God, right? It encompasses everything that is God. It is love. It is truth, right? And it is the superpower of knowing, right? It is beyond regular earth world intellect, okay? That said, earth world intellect is part of that. But everything is wisdom of the heart, okay? Just FYI, that's God space. Highest knowing of God, right, in our souls. So this said, heavy shit has been coming in, so I'm going to share all this stuff with you, guided by higher knowing, and because we got to know what's going on, but also some of the wisdom, right? We can see what the darkness is doing and get a clear picture. Because while everybody sends me all these videos, and this has been going on the internet for a while, ever since the beginning of the whole, when did it start? 2019, is it? unwellness thing with I'm going to say the C word for now. You all know what I'm talking about because they keep fucking taking down my fucking videos, right? So before you know it, they'll be taking down my page. So clear that out, God, and angels in heaven. And thank you, God, for that for us. From love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Okay. So what happens is, just like I teach here and what I do, right? Because everything I teach, I do. Okay? Everything. My whole life is guided by higher knowing from love energy, and all of our lives are really guided by our souls with higher knowing. How consciously we do this work or are aware of it is totally different stories for each and every one of us, depending on our missions, our journeys, right? And so all these videos, as many of you know, and what we teach is ask and you shall receive, right? But at the same time, you have to feel, all right, and talk to God or love about what the truth is and what is right. What's the God's honest truth about this video? What do I need to get from this, God? And as I see things in the video, I go, or that doesn't feel right, right? You all know what I'm talking about, because if it's right 110%. You feel it like a motherfucker. This is why a lot of these videos I don't even post on my pages or anything, because I have to post the true, the authentic, God's honest truth in its wholeness. And I can't post the whole video and say that I support this if the whole thing isn't truth of God or love. But I can share with you parts of it that universe says to me, this is truth, Lynn, this is truth, Lynn, this is truth, Lynn. Do you see what I'm saying? So let me just grab a tissue here. Super hot here in Virginia Beach today. I think it's like 90 degrees. Ray went to the beach today. It's nice that Ray gets a day off, isn't it? Just playing. Anyway, so bringing us back to where we were. But so my job is to decipher this for myself and for my family and for everybody. So we get to the God's honest truth, because there's so much propaganda out there and so many conspiracy theories. You know what I'm talking about? It's fucking insane. And then it makes people get confused and they don't know what to believe, right? And there's some wicked stuff out there. And the truth is, sadly, 73 to 78% of the shit you see, right, that you hear in these crazy videos, you go, oh, I refuse to believe that. I'm disconnected from it. And that's the problem with what's going out here in the collective. Everybody's disconnected because they don't want to think that humanity could be so awful, or that this could happen to humanity, or that these horrible things or darkness could take over the planet, right? So shit storm is coming, because that's why we're in Earth World. When we refuse to see things, when we don't get the message, and we talked about some of this on Friday, right? At our 6 and 12 medical intuitive show at 7:15, we talked a little bit about this, how we disconnect. The world is disconnected, right? And we're living in multiple dimensions, and lots of other stuff is going on. We're either disconnected subconsciously, consciously, and in so many different ways. Emotionally, spiritually, we just simply refuse to see what the truth is, right? Or it's too horrible to imagine, right? Anyways, so the reason I'm talking about this is because of the latest information that I have. And a lot of it, you'll see it's mainstream, right? It is mainstream. But I'm going to give you guidance from highest knowing of love energy, right? Christ consciousness, and along with my God connection, love energy, my soul. So that we can, this will assist you to help you with where we're going, what's happening, and how to handle everything into the future, so you can be the most prepared for no matter what comes. But the big key here is, right, the more us people, me, you guys, everybody out here, comes together from love, the more we stop the darkness. The more we stop the darkness. This is why what we're teaching and doing here right now is so fucking important, because you talk to God, and no matter what, you're going to be just fucking fine, no matter what comes down that road. Do you know what I'm talking about? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. When you're in a shit storm, right, you pray on it. Anytime I've been pulled over by a cop, or thought fucking toxic shit was going to go on, or almost drove into the car in front of me, or crazy shit happens in your life, right? You know, what do? You pray on it. You ask God. You ask love. Thanks, love, for helping me. Could you just keep an eye on her so she doesn't mess with her and the snake over there? What is it, Eliza or Alicia? Eliza is here tonight in our audience, and she has a snake. It's your pet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's her pet. So my dog Love, you guys know Love. She's one of our mascots, and she's over there by the snake. She's having a little, I'm interested in this, kind of thing. How Love? So anyway, so I just want to keep an eye on Lovely so she doesn't go over there for now or bother them. Okay, so that said, we're going to talk about this tonight, what's going on in the world, so everybody has an idea, and that's what I've been guided to talk about. But before we do all of this, we're going to get into the questions that you guys have. First, we have one from last week, I believe. What was it, Ray? We'll start there.
2 from Kathy Warmack from last week.
Okay, 2 from Kathy Warmack from last week. If you're watching, Kathy, thanks. And thank you, everybody, for coming. And thank you, too, Eliza, for coming. All right. So, go ahead.
Her first question was, can you connect with my mom? Her mom's name is Patsy Warmack. She passed away in 2017.
What is her mom's middle name and her birthday? Did she give you that?
She didn't, but if she types it in, I'll let you know.
Okay. So if you're hearing me, what is her name?
Kathy.
All right, Kathy, if you're hearing me, if you can type in your mom's birthday, please. What is her name? The mom's name?
Patsy Warmack.
Patsy. Okay, so the first thing that comes in for your mom, thanks God for us speaking to Patsy now, please. I'm just laughing how God tells me about the names. Thanks God for us speaking with Patsy now, please. Is it Kathy?
Yes.
All right, for Kathy now, from Love, God's honest truth, gifts, tools, wisdom, everything we need now, please, from Love in the purest form, and this reality, any reality, and all that is. If we could please bring her here. I feel like she's already here. I just want to honor her and ask for her assistance from Love, because that's the right thing to do, right? Okay. All right, what's going on? She's telling me she's been gone for a little while, but her feelings have not changed. She loves you very, very much. She's old world. The name Patsy tells you that. Patsy like Patsy Cline, right? It wouldn't surprise me if she liked Patsy Cline music as well, or that genre. Okay, so with her name, she's very old world. She's got old world, what do you call it? Code of ethics, Saturnian Earth World code of ethics of the old ways, honor, responsibility, respect, in the core of who she is. She wants me to tell you, Kathy, that she loves you very, very much. She's also telling me something about birthday cake and birthday cakes. So I feel like very special, very special. The words she's saying to me are very special. Her birthday cakes, her birthdays were very special, and she's telling me she loved cakes and the cakes that you would bring her for her birthday, whether it's you, your family, but she's including all of this in this energy when she speaks. She's also doing something where she's showing me like she's like kneeling down, like with one knee down and one knee up. Spilling my water all over me. All right. Thanks God for changing that now, please. Okay. Yeah, she's doing something where she's like kneeling, but I don't really feel like it's a church thing. It's strange, like she's kneeling with one knee down, so maybe but I almost feel like, I don't know if she's ever gone to the shooting range or done any shooting or interested in guns. It's so strange, but at the same time, I feel it has multiple meanings that does, okay? And this could also not necessarily be just for you. It could be for her or her with her. It may be that you're thinking about this and it's you doing this, but she's showing me that she's kneeling with one knee on the ground and one up, okay? Let me just see anything else that she has for me. She's also showing me dark, thick hair that comes to about here, and it's kind of wavy, not curly, but wavy. She's showing me this. So if you do not know her as that, like when she left or when she was younger, you may find pictures of that in pictures of her, but also it could be in reference to you, right? But she's showing me this hair and she's showing me brown eyes. I feel like she's showing me when she was younger, like in her late 20s or 30s or early 30s, all right? She's also telling me something about bicycles And she's saying there's 2 children. Now, I'm not sure if these are your children. I feel like they are because she's mentioning it, but it could also be somebody else in your family. I'm going to ask her. No, she's saying that these are that these are yours. Now, also remember, when universe talks to us, our children can be pets, our children can be adopted children, our children could be children that we have that have crossed over, okay? So there's multiple ways, right, that these things can manifest when we talk multidimensionally. Why they bring these in, why people who cross over, like Kathy's mom, why she would bring this in, is so that she could connect, all right, so that she can connect with Kathy and everybody in her family. This is why it's coming in like this. She wants to connect with everybody. The other thing that's coming in is roses and irises, okay? And she's saying flowers and gardens. And it's weird because I want to say, okay, well, she did some work in the garden sometimes, but I want to say, oh, she liked the garden and loved the garden. She loves the garden, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to work in the garden, is what I feel like she's telling me. She's also saying something about a bicycle and a green bike cruiser, all right, a green beach cruiser kind of bike. She's saying she used to love to go to the beach with you guys. So this also comes in. You guys can be not just you, Kathy, but your whole family, or bits and pieces of your family, or as well. I feel like as well. Her being on the beach for herself. All right, God. Let me just see what else comes in for her. Seafood as well. She's telling me she loves seafood. But there's also something about an allergy. Okay. So all these things, you can pick up stuff for her. Let me just see. Anything else? Happy times. Happy times. When she thinks of you guys, she holds you dear to her heart, and she loves you all very, very much. And she misses her family a lot, a lot. When I say she misses you guys a lot, what I'm talking about, missing you in Earthworld. In Earthworld, what we grieve for really is when we don't have each other in our lives, because this is what is most important, love, right? So when we cross over, she's still around you all the time. I'm getting lights flickering in the kitchen. I feel like there's some ceiling lights that flicker on and off when she's around. Not just like your lamps or stuff, but this is one of the things that she's pointing me to. She's also pointing me to a white tile floor, a small kitchen, white paint. I feel like it's a little bit older. You may know this kitchen, all right, but she's also showing me that. What else is she showing me? Thank you, God. All right, what else, Kathy? There was something else that came in. She's telling me that towards the end, she wore some dresses. Towards the end, she says she was in dresses. I feel like there's dresses. It could be dresses for nighttime. She said she wanted to be comfortable. That was what was important to her. Also, she's telling me that she grieves for the Earthworld reality. Like when I say like we all grieve, we grieve for Earthworld, right? Earthworld reality, we grieve. What we're talking about here is this reality in this life, because she's all around you, on and off all the time. She's around the children. She's around you. She's around everybody in your family at different times, right? But what she misses is the hugs and being able to hold you guys and being able to be with you and do Earthworld things, because really that's what we miss. You know what I mean? That's totally what we miss. Because while we never really like die in the way that a lot of people think of Earthworld, where we're like dead and gone, right? We just leave this dimension. However, let me just see here. We leave this dimension, but when we leave this dimension, we can come back and we can go, but it's not in the same way as we're literally living in three-dimensional Earthworld form. Like I'm here right now, like you guys are here, even though you're in virtual reality, so to speak, over there. You're here, right? But you're physically here still in Earthworld, and that's what we grieve and miss, being able to do those times and share that time and have that time, and that's really what we tend to long for, and our attachments, and not being able to do those things into the future is like a sadness. And that's really what she says she's missing. Just being able to sit with you, being able to, hold you or hold your kids or be with you, and just do earth world things and just enjoy that time, holidays, birthdays. She's saying she misses those things. And really, that's the hardest part, I feel, because we hold on to that, especially because we're here in Earth World, right? And it's hard to believe things that aren't so, is the word, I want to say the word is tangible, but malleable or solid, you know what I mean? Solid would be the word. Okay, so let me just see, anything else? Just really that she loves you and she loves everybody. And it's funny because she, in some ways, and I just want to cry because in some ways she's sending me her emotions about how she feels about what's happening in the world today. Whew. She's sad by it. She's sad by it because she wanted, such different things, for you and everybody, right? But don't we all, right? Anyways. But now she's going, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. So she knows, but she's expressing her feelings to me, right, in Earth World. And she's saying, I love you very much, very much. Okay, what else do we have? Is that it, Patsy? Yeah, if there's anything else that she wants to say, she's telling me she'll let me know, okay? All right, so what's the next question?
Kathy was also asking if she is going to get her home paid off. She's halfway there, $74K to go. Her sister is a homeowner, so she's making payments to her sister.
Yeah, put it out there to Spirit, Kathy. I feel like you will get your home paid off. There's going to be some challenges into the future, but you'll do it. Put it out there to God. You work with God. You work with love. And if you do not, by way of chance, it feels like 53 to 57% right now is what it feels like that you'll get it paid off. And while that might not seem like a lot right now, it is because of your fears that you won't get it paid off, right? That's what happens. Fear is just the fucking craziest ass thing, right? Two things in this world create love and fear, right? And fear, what does it do? It scares the living shit out of us, right? It's darkness, right? Our fears are just some of our most toxic stuff, right? So I'm going to ask God that we clear, heal, and change and connect to this energy, feel it, clear it, heal it, process it, and release it for you and all of us, this fear of not being able to pay for the things and get our debt paid off, or having no money and having nothing, and all of it is all this, because this storm is coming to this reality, and you're picking up on that energy in the collective. We all are. This is Uranus and Taurus reevaluating our second house, which is our house of self-worth and money and abundance and all that has to do with that. That's what we're doing now in our souls and in the collective, everybody across the board. So this is going to create fears like, am I going to lose my house? Can I pay for this? What should I do about this, right? So all of this is really coming in and coming on like a steam train, right? However, we've cleared this out. Thank you, God, for that for us. Connect to it, clear it, heal it, free us from it, feel it, process it, change it, in all energy that it is, and all emotional energy that it is, and in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form. In this reality, any reality, and all that is, thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls, and in all we are, be, say, do, and create in the best way for us to know something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay. So, and then we're going to ask God that you do get it done and that universe takes care of you no matter what from love, so that if you don't pay this house off, or God forbid, in our human space where we say, God forbid, we would lose something or lose it, right, or not have the money to do it, universe will bring us something even better. And trust God. The more you work with love, the more you work with God, the more you're going to be just fine, no matter what the fucking collective shitstorm is out here, right? Doesn't mean you don't have challenges. I'm a perfect example of having challenges. And I'm a high-end God person, right, who practices, eats, breathes, lives, sleeps this shit every day, right? And all the time. And this is who you can be, or you choose to be if you want to, right? But you don't have to do it to the extent that I do. All you have to do is be in your heart and do your best to talk to God, work with love, and be in your heart with everything that you do. It's so simple, right? But it's fucking incredible how many people just can't do it, right? So Thanks God for us changing that from love, right? Okay, so that said, I'm going to shake the table by putting my foot there. Okay, that said, now the chances are 93 to 98 because we cleared those blocks, those fears, those things. So you see how that changes people? And, so you will know by what actually happens in Earth World, right? So if there's more work to do on this, you'll ask God and you'll do it, right? However, this is what they're telling me right now. So your chances have incredibly changed just by clearing out your blocks and asking God for what you want. Thanks God for that for us, right? From love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us, okay? All right, so that's 2, right?
Yes.
From last week, right? All right. Thank you, Kathy. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody who's coming and who's on here tonight. All right. Sophia, do we have any questions from the internet here tonight?
Yes, we do. Wendy Hall is asking, she has a question for someone that she knows. She says they are experiencing a lot of hair loss lately, and she would like to know if you have any suggestions from Spirit or an astrology coming in for that.
Okay. You ready, Wendy? Thank you, Wendy, for coming. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to grab the astrology dice and I'm going to ask God, what's the God's honest truth and metaphysical behind all of this for Wendy? Now, please, God's honest truth, what's going on here with this? The biggest stuff metaphysically causing this. Thank you, God, for that for us. All right, number 11. Oh, my God. Guess what it is? Who's our favorite?
Saturn.
It's Saturn again. Fucking Saturn. It's a bear. All right, so it's Capricorn. Saturn, Capricorn. I'm going to look around, make sure I got that right. All right. Thanks, God. Thanks, God. Okay. So it is Saturn in the 11th house. See, these are our astrology dice. Most of you know and have seen them before, right? There you go. That's Saturn. If you could see it, thank you, God, for them being able to see it in the 11th house, right? I have 2 dice here that I have a bunch of sets of them, and I'll use these a lot of times to get to the bottom of shit without having to fuck around with the chart. I ask and you shall receive, right? So when we got to get to that spot, we can, but I'm always learning more and more with God every day, constantly doing my work, constantly researching with love energy that is God, asking for the best answers, the God's honest truth to everything, so that I can live my greatest life and get to the answers of everything, right? Because that's what we do. Okay, let me see what's happening here. Let me see. I have to pull up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up on the internet for you, Wendy, and we're going to see what we get. Saturn in the 11th would also be Saturn in the 5th, okay, girl? And what's so crazy is we just talked about that in the medical intuitive, the 5th house and the 11th house, right? Lumaria and Atlantis. Head space and heart space being out of balance, right? The whole collective is having these challenges right now because when you get totalitarianism, if I'm saying that right, or they're trying to take over the world and you lose your freedom, or you're being threatened, right? So that is the 11th house, right? And the 5th house is your heart. So there's no way that this shit can affect you, whoever you are. So this makes total sense that it would be the 11th house and the 5th house, right? Let me see, is it the 5th house? Yep, because if you have the 11th and the 5th house go together like white on rice, okay? That's how it works in astrology, right? Okay. And when I say astrology, for the most part, I'm talking about Western astrology. However, I use all kinds of formulas guided by highest knowing of God, including Vedic astrology sometimes. Sometimes I will work with Chinese astrology. I will work with, there's also, I believe there's Native American, I'm not sure if it's astrology or what they call it, but I believe that there's a formula for that as well. So wherever universe guides us to is where we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our famous Google, right? All right, and we're going to Google. Ready? Saturn in the 11th house natal. And what we're doing is we're pulling up We're doing Saturn in the 11th house, right? Natal. And then we're going to hit the search, and we're going to pull up some stuff on different sites by different astrologers, and usually what comes up is Saturn in the 11th house in Vedic astrology. They have some really great shit in Vedic astrology, really great shit. And this is why I call it God astrology, because it's not just doing traditional astrology in the way that most astrologers do, right? It's above and beyond that. It's working with God or universe all the time, right? And constantly working with the stars or heaven and angels, right? To get your God's honest truth or your best answers, right? But I do this with everything in my life. So it's not so special to just the astrology work that I do. It's everything. Whoa, as my ring flies off. Transformation. Okay, so Wendy, you ready, girl? Saturn in the 11th house. Hi, Nicole Opera. I see you there, girl. All right. Saturn in the 11th house may make its natives feel lonely. They may feel the fear of failure in regard to their social circle and their dreams. However, once they overcome that, they may be able to define their dreams with more precision, and work on that. So now we're going to go in here, and I'm going to honor the site that it is so everybody can see. It's called Ganesha Speaks, okay? I believe it's a Vedic astrology site from what I can see here, and they're doing Saturn in the 11th house Vedic astrology, okay? So this is, again, I don't know if you can see it here. I'm going to try to turn my screen down. Maybe I can turn it a little bit down to get you guys to see it better. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that works. But just to give you guys an idea, it's hard to see. Thank you, God, for changing that now, please, from love in the purest form for everybody. Okay, so Saturn, the tough taskmaster, is just like the strict teacher in school time. It represents the father and authority figures. Saturn keeps in mind the boundaries of a person, his time limit and restrictions. It reminds its natives of control, responsibilities, and commitments. It is known as the planet of contraction. It brings a hard time, which might seem depressing, but it helps people to discover the meaning of life. It also governs old age. The 11th house in astrology is known as Labha, which is gains house, as well as the house of, I don't know if I say these right, Bahadak, okay, which is obstruction. Oh, like obstruction. Saturn's a fucking bear, right? So gains and obstruction, interesting enough. It is considered as an auspicious house. However, it is obstructive for cardinal signs. Saturn in the 11th house may make its natives feel lonely. So Saturn is a cardinal sign, along with Libra and Cancer and Capricorn. Capricorn is a cardinal sign. What is it? Libra, Cancer, and what's the last one? Is there one, or is it just those three?
No, Aries.
Aries. Thank you. Aries. All right. They may feel the fear of failure in regard to their social circle and dreams. However, once they overcome that, they may be able to define their dreams and with more precision and work on that. They also may be able to hang out with friends and make a stronger bond with them. So the affected areas would be your income, a legal business, marriage, and politics. Okay. So there's a bunch of positive traits in here, Wendy, but I'm going to pull out wherever God guides me to for this, because so that we just bang it out and we're going to release the whole entire energy of all of this here, right? Okay. Just going to run down. Negative traits and impact, right? In the 11th house may easily become bored and tired of socialization and may prefer to stay home alone at times. They may fear being normalized and losing their special place and value in the social circles. This might induce a feeling of loneliness and separateness from the close ones. Hence, at times they find it difficult to loosen up or share personal feelings. See, now that makes total sense to me, because I think we've talked about your friend Wendy, and she is going through some problems or issues with the people at work. They're not the same people they once were, and many of us will be going through this, right? So this, to me, totally correlates with what's going on with her. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Let's see. Ooh, this is some rough shit, too. So that literally is in her reality, but this is some rough stuff, too. The 11th house is the house of illegal activities, like totalitarianism, all right? Illegal activities like blackmailing, hoarding, smuggling, kidnapping, etc., all right? Hence, the natives have a chance to be involved in such activities. It is all more likely with retrograde Saturn in the 11th house and the birth chart. So if your Saturn is retrograde in the 11th house, then that would create that more so than, let's say, a different Saturn placement or Saturn not retrograde. They can be quite deceiving at times and may outsmart people for their own personal benefits. Natives who have strong Saturn in their house and possess the support of Mars or Sun are likely to become good politicians. They may become an authoritative figure at levels to even at a national level. Okay, so wow, Wendy, pretty cool shit, huh? Your friend could be a politician. All right. They may exploit the workers under them, get maximum productivity at any cost. They may also try to earn huge profits by any means, from increasing the prices to reducing the quality of the products. They don't realize the difference between ethical and unethical sources of income. They may deceive and act cunningly and get huge amounts of profit with the help of the same. Natives with Saturn in the 11th house may experience failure in marriage. Okay, so... and we're just going to do a little of this here. Let's see. Saturn is the planet of hardship and teaching. We talked about all that. These natives are hardworking, talented, and outgoing individuals. They have money and income hold huge importance in their lives. However, they are suggested not to use any ill methods to earn money, right? So all those nasty things that they talked about up here. So the bottom line is, Wendy, for your friend, for right now, we're a huge chunk of this that we ask God for to clear out, heal, change, release, and be free of. And we're going to put the best way to be in place of this. So we're going to ask God that we connect to it for all of us, that we connect to it emotionally. We feel it, release it, heal it, process it, and be free of it. And in place of all energy that is all of this emotional and all that it is, we put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create in the best way for us and all, or something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay, so this will really pull a big chunk out of this, if not heal the problem with her hair issues. Okay, if there is more to it, then we will address it as it comes along. But this is what universe has guided us to for her. Okay, sorry, I got some bright light in my eyes right now. Crazy. Oh, got my ring back. Did you get it? Yeah. Thank you, Soph. All right. So that said, Wendy, that should help you and everybody from having those kinds of issues, right, in our lives, right? That's because what is in the subconscious creates out here in the conscious. So things like losing our hair, right? But who would think that that would be associated with that, right? Right? I'm going to ask universe exactly, I'm going to say, hey, why is that, right? And they're saying to me, the hair has to do with the identity, right? Because your face is your identity. How you wear your hair is how you choose to be the person that you are inside out here, right? So this is how that relates to that, which is really cool. Do you see that?
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, so that said, any more questions over here, Soph? Thanks, Wendy. No?
We got Nikki next question.
Yeah. Nikki's next? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead, Nikki. And then I'm going to ask you, Liza. You ready? You almost ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, Nikki Opper, what you got, girl?
Nikki said that her grand uncle on her mom's side passed away about a year ago last week. His name is Don Oper. Evelyn has been talking about him for a while, about how much she misses him, but they only got to know him for a short time. But she's wondering if he has any messages for Nikki or for Evelyn.
Has Evelyn started recently talking about him? Because I feel like the reason she's talking about him is because he's all around her, and her gifts are, not that they're opening up, but they are opening up, right? She's always had them, but she's becoming more aware of them is really what it feels like to me. So she's becoming more aware of her gifts. So that's why I feel like she's talking about him, because the energy is around on a subconscious soul level. She's picking up on that. And so what did she want to know? Any messages?
Mm-hmm. From him.
Well, that's a big one. That's funny. Congratulations, Nikki. Congratulations on your wedding and your new life. And he's happy for you. He's excited for you. Wants good things for you. He's happy with Evelyn. He loves Evelyn. Loves Evelyn to the moon, which is why she's picking up on him, because Evelyn is actually like him, okay, in a lot of ways. Neat shit.
She said Evelyn's been talking about him for about a month now.
Yeah. So Evelyn's got a lot of really fantastic medium gifts. Encourage her to talk to him. Encourage her to write, right? Because then the world isn't necessarily like the only way that she can see, like where we see in the box, right? The world is really infinite. So this encourages her to open up these gifts, have her write, have her draw, like we've talked about in the past with her emotions and her stuff. Definitely have her do that. Because that'll be fantastic for her as she grows and develops these gifts, definitely for sure. Okay. Any more gifts for them? He absolutely loves Nicholas. Okay, absolutely loves Nicholas. He's saying he's the perfect guy for you, Nikki. Perfect guy for you.
That's cool.
And he is and will be a great father for Evelyn. I don't want to cry. Okay. Pull it together. All right. Thank you, God, for what's the best cell salt for me to take right now. 333. Okay. All right. Who's next, Ray? Did I answer all Nikki's questions?
Yes, that's it for online at the moment.
Okay, how about you, Liza? Liza's here in our live audience right now tonight. She's got that cool snake. It's beautiful. What is his name?
I named it Kundalini.
It's what?
Kundalini.
Kundalini? That's cool. Cool. Do you have a nickname for him?
I really just started picking him up more recently. Something was drawing me to him to pick him up more.
Okay.
But I've had it for about 2 years.
Okay.
I got the snake. I didn't even know why, honestly. I was kind of scared by the time I left the house. The little girl was playing with it. I said, well, I can do it too. And so it's been my snake since.
Wow. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So what's your question, girl?
I'm going to start here because I find that a lot of my life I didn't really see a lot of bad in things. I just seen the good in them. And when I started seeing the bad, it was just showing up everywhere.
Can you do me a favor? Could you talk up like louder if you could? Because this way they can hear you better.
Okay, so it's the good and the bad. I guess you call that discernment.
Okay.
And,
so you're saying, 1 second. So you're saying that all of a sudden in your life you're seeing a big, you're starting to see the differences between good and bad in your reality.
Well, I was naming chapters of my life books, or naming them chapters. I didn't know why, but it was like I couldn't make this up if I tried to, kind of thing. And then it started with I always seen the good in people. Mm-hmm. I just kept wondering why everything kept happening to me. Why does this keep happening to me? So then it went to me seeing the bad, and when I started seeing it, I seen it a lot. And so my question is that I guess I'm not really sure if we call this magic or we call this, I'm not even sure what to call this, because in how I've grown up, everything's just been so hidden from me that it's making me question that I seen the good in all this stuff. Isn't it possible for there to be bad as well?
Okay. All right, you're saying a lot of complex stuff, and what it comes down to right now, right, is to me you're asking me a whole bunch of questions about many things that are all interrelated. Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you say I see the good and the bad, you always and correct me if I'm not interpreting what I'm picking up from what you're saying. Okay. To me, you are saying that you see a lot of good in people, and you've always been that guy. Right? And right there alone, that tells me that's high in consciousness. We automatically go to people who are in their hearts, even when there's a lot of darkness in there. We're kind of like, we don't want to see the darkness. You know what I mean? And that's all part of human nature, right? And why we're in this earth world. Okay. Why? So that we can change these things. Okay. Earth world is a great forum, a great dimension to change these things. So when you say you see a lot of good, is it possible that there's bad in people, right? So, and other people say, well, there's the good in you and there's the bad in you, and all through spirituality and through people, it's gone on through time that there's a healthy part of you and an unhealthy part, right? But you choose, is a general nature, to see the good in everybody, right? But the problem with that, right, is when we don't acknowledge the toxic in people. It doesn't mean that it has to be bad, right? A better word, let's say, would be the toxic or the unwell, because that's why we came here. So one of the reasons why we came here, right, is to heal us, right, to get rid of the stuff in us that is that darkness, is that unwellness, right? Because it doesn't serve us, okay? Just like the fact that when you choose to see only the good, you're doing a disservice to you. Because when you don't see the truth, the God's honest truth about all that is going on and only the good, then that's how people take advantage of us. That's how people stab us in the back. That's how shitty things happen to us, right? Especially being such a beautiful heart and beautiful souls, as all high-end consciousness has somewhere in them. But the thing is, not everybody chooses to come from those places. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have these gifts, right? And you're on this journey, but if nobody teaches you these things and how things really work with the law of universe, the law of God or love energy, right? In all that is God, as well as in Saturn's earth world, because there's a right thing to do from love with everything, right? And this up here governs everything here in earth world and everything that is God. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you say these things to me, what happens is we come here, and did you see me roll the dice before for Wendy? Right? For Wendy, when she had a question, right? And she said, why is her friend being challenged with hair loss, right? Okay, so I talked to Wendy earlier about it a little bit, but Wendy contacted me back, and I said, well, let's do the metaphysical work, because what happens in here always manifests out here, right? Habits, patterns, beliefs, and energy that does not serve you or is unwell or is toxic is the stuff that we're talking about here. Everybody in earth world who is a human being has some of this. Does this make sense? Yeah. All right. In some way, shape, or form, right? Some souls are lower vibration. Some souls are higher vibration. There's all different vibrations of love energy that they are or are operating from. We all have the ability to be here. In a second, I could drop everything and say, I choose to work with God. I choose to work with love. And I choose not to be that person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, whoever it is, that's the nature of God or love, is that love energy always has a doorway open for you to change, for you to say, I choose not to be that anymore. My whole life is about that, right? The person I was way back when was really not a nice person. The person I am now, completely different. And I've probably been hundreds of different people my whole life by doing this work and working with God and clearing the stuff out. And the more I do that, the better I feel, the more amazing my life is, the more I understand, the more wisdom I got, the more bigger the God connection, the more I can do anything with love. Do you see what I'm saying? Because love is all the power, and the less people are able to take advantage of me because I see their bullshit. You see what I'm saying? I see they're toxic, right? But usually that happens out here, the darkness, so to speak, or the bad, like you said, right? When you have this out here, it is a mirror of a reflection of something going on with you that is a variation of that energy, right? Just like when I rolled the dice, that is the biggest chunk by asking God that comes out how to heal her hair loss metaphysically. We clear out that, we change that, which is what we did. Ask and you shall receive. We said boom, 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 clear, he'll change this, put this way to be in place of this from love. And then this opens the doorway for all her healing. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the same is true of any of our habits, patterns, and beliefs, right? The same is true. We all have stuff going on. So when we have a problem with somebody, the very first thing I do is go, all right, God, what's going on here? Is this my shit? Is this their shit? Or where is this shit coming from, and why is this happening, right? Yeah, that's what I do. And this is what I recommend for all of you, because then I can be clear and I can be sure. Before I go reaming somebody else, saying, this is you, this is your shit, and you, right? I'm gonna make sure I know my shit with love energy or God, right? Because that's the right thing to do. I want to be sure what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Before I come out and say shit. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's for all of us, right? But that's a great earth world rule in general, right? We all have put our foot in our mouths. Like, you ever see somebody who's like they look like they're pregnant, but you don't know it, and they have some kind of condition and they're sick, right? And I'll be like, when are you due? And then she's like, I'm not pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, you're horrified when you do shit like that. But we've all done it. You know what I mean? You know, so a great thing to do is ask God first if I should, you know, come out and say shit like that, you know what I mean? Or ask about that, you know? And most people take it graciously, you know? However, you know, if we work with love energy or we think before we open our mouth as well as balance with our hearts, right? Kind of like God think, heart think, wisdom speak, wisdom think, you know? And so, because it always behooves us to know what the hell is really going on before we say anything, especially in Saturn's Earth world, because that's how we can run into problems, right? Yeah. Same thing like, you know, if I know that my neighbor is sleeping with somebody and she's my best friend, do I want to tell her? Is that the best thing to do? I'm going to go right to God. I'm going to say, is this real? Should I say anything? Should I get involved in this? It's one thing if she asks me what I think. It's another thing if she does not. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I just had a client who said to me she wants to say something to her ex's new live-in kind of partner because he's saying that she hears through the grapevine. He's saying that he pays child support to her and he doesn't do that and she knows and she just wants to tell her the truth. And I said, whoa, this is what somebody else said. Do you really know that this is the truth, the God's honest truth about what's going on? I said, and then if she doesn't ask you, you don't get involved in that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And this has everything to do with other shit going on in your life. Are you aware of that? That's why it's coming out of my mouth, because what universe does is I don't just speak shit to speak shit, right? It probably has to do with many of these people here to learn the truth, right? But what happens is universe knows what you need and answers the questions through me. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is kind of like a mind read, right? It's so funny because this is all part of our gifts. You know, neat shit, right? Yeah. So I said to the girl, I said, look, I understand you want to tell him because you have, I said, but here's the answer. What is your intent? What is your intent? Do you want to be shitty to him? Do you want to be shitty to her? Do you want to get all wrapped up in this? Do you want to put your energy in that? All because you can doesn't mean you should. And if you're soliciting advice or giving advice to other people, right, without them asking for it, that's a no. That's a clear boundary no. All right? So it's ask and you shall receive always. I'm not going to offer people information, right, if they're not going to ask me for it. Sometimes I will by higher knowing, but it's always guided by love in the purest form and higher knowing. Because sometimes the shit that comes out of my mouth, I can't even believe it comes out of my mouth. And I'm sure all you guys can't either sometimes, right? But if I said it and I ask love to speak through me, God's honest truth, the best of everything from love, solutions, gifts, tools, and I say it, it's meant to be said. Do you see? And it's crazy, but it's the truth of God and love, right? Seems crazy, right? So it's about boundaries. It's about love. It's about, you know, unsolicited advice. When I was a kid, I used to tell people shit all the time. I used to tell my friends, oh, your boyfriend's cheating on you. And then I didn't have a friend anymore. Because he's doing that doesn't mean they want to hear it or are ready for that. You know what I mean? And then they throw their energy, their shitty energy at you, and they're not your friend anymore. You know what I mean? Because they were hurt by it, right? But that just means there's work to do on them. But it was a learning lesson for me too, right? You stay in your own garden. That's one of the biggest problems we have in the world. People trying to control everybody else, trying to tell everybody else what to do. You stay the fuck in your own garden. If it doesn't pertain to you, you don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a toxic thing for you, then you have to do something about it. Absolutely. Always ask love if you're not sure. Okay? So like, this is my table, right? If you come here and put all your shit on my table, I'm going to say, what the fuck are you doing? Did you ask me if you could do that? Right? Yeah. And I might be like, do you need to put stuff on my table here? Is this what's going on? But if you ask, I may say, sure. Or do you think you could put it over here? Do you see what I'm saying? Everything is about energy and honor and respect and integrity and love and responsibility, right? And they all go hand in hand. This is Saturn's Earth world about the right thing to do as well as everything that is the right thing to do from love and all that is God. So does that make sense to you, all this? All you guys too? All right. So do you have another question that goes with this? Or I feel like you sort of asked and put stuff into this, but then I feel like there's more to this.
Well, there is, because it goes to think, I feel like I just kind of started to figure out who I was recently because I feel like some people with some bad intentions have blocked some things since I was a little girl. Is that possible?
Everything in this reality is what you believe. So you're saying that you believe that some bad people blocked intentions, right? And there's things like, people working through darkness and dark magic, and and then there's people who believe demons and stuff. But the truth of the matter is, you have all the power with God or love energy. That's it. And if you believe in these things, then they are true. If you do not, then they are not. But the truth of God and love energy is absolutely not. And just like family curses, they say, I have a family curse in my line. Well, there can be an energy that is carried through the family line, just like sicknesses and cancers and mental illness or whatever it is, right? It can be carried through the family line. But you had to come in with it first, and you chose that family line. Why would you do that? So you can heal it. You can heal the metaphysical as well as the physical, and so that you can change not only and heal yourself, not only yourself, but the family lineage as well from your space on. Do you see? Neat shit, right? Okay, so when you say these dark energies, ask God to be free of that. Ask God to be free of these beliefs. Ask God to change everything that are these beliefs that are toxic for you. And is all of this. You will do it right now. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll give you the best way to be from love in place of this. And thank you, God, for that for us. All energy that is all of this that Eliza is talking about. Thank you for us connecting to it. Thank you for us connecting to it emotionally. Thank you for us feeling it. Processing it, releasing it, healing it, and being free of it. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us and all or something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. Do you see? All this you can do. You want to start working with love? Ask love. So what do you do? How do you do that? Thanks, love, for this for me. Thanks, love, for that for me. Thanks, love, for the best day. Thanks, love, for me being free of this. Thanks for me feeling great. Thanks for me getting my shit together. Thanks for me getting a job. Thanks for me having the best place to live. Thanks for me having a whole new family from love. You know what I'm saying? Anything you can create, anything from love. All you got to do is work with it. And as you work with it, you'll realize these things happen. And it actually happens, right? Yeah, and it happens in your reality, and this is for all you guys too. Happens in your reality is your number one proof in Earth world that is truth of God, right? Number one proof. Okay. All right. But also, when I just want to go back to my friend who was asking about her ex, because this is important too. I said to her, "What is your intent? Do you want to make this man feel bad? Do you want to be shitty to him or unwell to him? Why is it? Is it going to make you feel better to throw a wrench in his relationship, right? Because then that tells me there's still some unresolved stuff in there that you don't feel good about you, and there's still some shit going on there. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's just stuff to clear, heal, and change. That's my job, man. That's all part of what you will end up doing at some point. As the more you go down the spiritual path, right, the higher you vibrate, the more you're gonna, shovel the shit out of your soul, basically, or be free of it and put the best way to be. And the more you change everything that is you, and the more information you have access to as well. Neat shit, right? Yeah. So now you have some tools to bring with you. And when I had said that, I told you to come and that I could help you, very simply, this is the simplest, best way that I can help you, right? And that's what I said to God when my kids were born. I said, hey, I need to be the greatest mom I can be, God. I said, I need to be the greatest mom for me, the greatest mom for them, and I want them to have the greatest life. And what can I do and be, and what can I do to make that happen? Because I know if I save money for my kids, that money could be gone. If I give them my house and their inheritance, all that could be gone. This whole business could be gone. Everything could be gone. But if they have the ability to work with love energy that is God, they have the power to create and do anything and everything and be free of all the habits and patterns that earth world people would carry that would make those things dissolve, all right, or have the propensity to do that. And that's all the power. And then all of a sudden, I'm on this path, right, working on me. Teaching them, right? Because even when I leave this world, I know that they will have the greatest tools I could ever leave them with, right? And as a mom, I don't ever really want to leave them, well, moms know that, right? So, however, that's how I got on this path. Absolutely. This is another one of the avenues that made me go in this direction, even more so. The other one was through great suffering. right, through great suffering, right? I remember just laying on my bed crying my ass off because my ex left me, right? He was married to somebody else and told me he was going to be with me. I'm engaged to him. He's going to be with somebody else, married to somebody else, a fuck storm, and then I had put my whole energy where he was my God, so to speak. And that's the biggest issue too. I remember crying in my bed, God, why can't I just have somebody to love me? And you know what I mean? And being in that space, we've all been there. We've all done it, right? And this is part of that earth world stuff. If you're a Libra, most of you know all about this because you're in love with love itself, and you put everything into your relationship, and your relationship is your world. And more people, not just Libra, Venus and Libra, Libras, Pisces, right? Venus and Pisces, Venus and what is the other one? Leo, right? All these signs are those guys who just pour their heart into their partner like mad, right? And then when it doesn't work, there's some incredible pain there because you get so attached to your idea of what it should be in that whole relationship, right? That it fucks you up hardcore, right? So, and I remember just crying in bed, and I said, God, this sucks. I said, I don't want to cry anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to be miserable anymore. I just want to be happy. And if I can't be happy, I don't want to stay here, because that's how much I was invested in all of this, right? Delusional about what I think the relationship could be. And in the end, it was really me who didn't want to be with anybody. Right? I realize that, it's kind of like we spend the weekend together, right? My ex, right? And then I'm like, okay, you can go now. Because I realize I don't have that. And that would be Venus and Gemini, right? If I can't get stimulated in here with my partner, right? There's going to be a lot of there's nothing there for me to hold on to in you, right? Because Gemini has like this attention span, and it's on to the next thing, right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the very same reason Rachel has a lot of Gemini energy in her, right? So what happens in her is, man, she'd be like today, she'd be like, I can't stay here in the office. I have to go to the shop. I have to work at the shop today. I can't do the same thing one more day. Meanwhile, she did it like 2 days ago. It's like, what the fuck, Rachel? Right? But that's how she gets. And that's a Gemini thing, right? And a lot of times in a toxic space, they can do that with their partners, right? So what I realized is I am not designed to be with a partner 24/7, and I was disillusioned by that. I'm thinking, oh my God, my partner is my world. I want to sit down. I want to have a great relationship. I want to have a family. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to cook and I'm going to clean. And then I like 3 days into it, I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going to go insane. You know what I mean? Because it's not for me. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's about finding out who I am, who my soul is, right? And what is best and healthiest for me. That's part of why we have these things that go on in Earth World, is so that we can learn about us, So that was really, paramount for me. It was like incredible. Or of great importance, because I remember not too long ago I was going to go and a universe guided me. I was going to spend a weekend with my ex because I still love the dude, but I don't want to be with him. And universe is like, go and have a great time, right? And this was how I really kind of realized that, because I realized that I don't really want to be with anybody all the time. It would be just perfect if I could see him maybe one weekend a month, one weekend every couple months, you know what I mean? So, but this is something that I had to learn about me, right? In my life, right? So, and everything, right? Because he's my ex and I can love him and I can let him go. But if I have attachments or unwellnesses, right? I was being guided by higher knowing to go, which is different from Earth World. I gotta be with you shit. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's so many variations of why we do the things that we do, right? And we're all learning and understanding of higher knowing, as well as Saturn's Earth world. We're learning all the time, including me, including everybody. We are human beings in this reality. So everything is all part of our challenges, our gifts, our magic, our destiny, our dreams, right? And we're all following and going in this life on these paths for our greatest selves, our greatest happiness, and also to change the world here and change us in the best way, and to have the greatest experiences, what? From love, right? So all of this is all part of that. But the more I work with love all the time, right, especially when I don't know what to do or don't understand what to do, right, or don't, I'm confused about it. Well, there's a red flag that there's shit that I need to work on, I need to understand, I need to comprehend. So I'm always talking to God, what's the God's honest truth about this? How does this work? What does this mean? Why am I feeling like this? And if I'm in a rush and I got to be somewhere or something that needs to happen that I need to address and I don't have the time to explore it in depth, right, I'll just be like, okay, God, clear, heal, and change this energy that is all this. Let me connect to it emotionally and in all that it is. Clear it all out of me. Let me be free of it. Or let me do the work on it for later. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'll say, handle this now, please, God, from love. And then universe will handle it through me, just like when I say, love, speak through me now to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's the same kind of concept. It's just working with the energy and knowing how these things can work and having your best outcome, right? Because just like today we were talking about drama. I don't want to fuck with drama. The higher you vibrate, all right, and the more enlightened you become, the less bullshit, especially in these times, you want to deal with. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want to mess with drama. That's not what I'm into, right? And this is also how like in these situations when I'm working with God or I'm working with love, right? And I'm doing it all the time, right? In these situations, what happens is, in that moment when it gets chaotic or it gets full of drama, I'm always like, okay, God, handle this now, please. I don't have the time for this bullshit. So clear that out of me. Handle this now. Speak through me from love. Love, speak through me now, please. Handle this situation. And before you know it, it's already done. And then I'll be like, and let me do the work on me or ask about this later. And universe will always bring the answers, right? And they will come quick as shit. The more you do it, and the more you clear what's in your way from getting the answers. So the more you work with God, the greater the gifts you have, the more gifted you become, the more great of the life you have, because that's how it works, right? For all of us. So these are some really great tools, for everybody here, so they can get some tools of how to work with this energy, right? I can always go back later, right, and do whatever it is that I need to do with universe. And it, if I don't, I'll be like, okay, God, remind me to work on this later, or let me work on this later, and so it is, and it will happen. But the key here too is to release it. And the biggest example I can use of this too is people be like, I want to win the lottery so bad, and it never fucking happens. And they're like, well, I asked God and God doesn't answer my prayers. Well, yeah, God does, but it doesn't do it. The energy doesn't do it without doing the work. Do you understand that? You don't get shit for free in Earth World, right? You must do the work, right? So if you you want to win the lottery, yes, you can win the lottery, but you got to remove the crap in you that stops you from winning and doesn't believe that you can win. Do you understand that? And you also, right, you have to, also clear out things that would stop you from being responsible with your money, because it doesn't matter if you're responsible with your money, right? Because it doesn't matter how much money you have. That's why so many people who win the lottery, what they say, like a year later or 5 years later, they have no money again, because they didn't work on these energies and clear this shit out for them. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so everything is habits, patterns, beliefs, and cycles in the chart, in our charts, our astrology, which is just a map of our soul in this reality where we can see and connect all energy in words in a formula from Earth World to metaphysical, all that is God. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, really cool shit, right? All right, so that said, we have more questions? I think we answered your question. You good?
I can keep going.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'll come back to you. All right, girl? I'll come back to you. And I love your questions. Thank you, because they're wisdom for everybody. As well as when I answer these questions, it's not like I have an arsenal in my brain. What I do here is my heart is connected to all that is God, and it opens to the galactic center, which is everything that is the wisdom of God, right? And that's for all of us. The more clearer the path, right? You can't get through the door if it's open this wide, but the more you do the work, the more the door opens, right? But it doesn't happen all at once usually, because you'd be in an asylum if you knew the difference between the truth here and the metaphysical truth of everything that's going on. Ooh, heavy shit. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, so who's next? I'll come back to you, girl, okay? So I'm sure you got lots more. All right? All right.
There's no online questions right now, but I have one. Rachel
has a question. Sure, Rachel.
ever since my grandma passed away, I've been seeing this polar bear that's like a metaphysical polar bear.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was home last weekend, I was hiking with Remy and Sophie, who's my Grammy's dog, and I kept seeing the bear like walking in front of us down the path. And
Can you talk up?
Sorry, yeah. I mean, I kept seeing the polar bear walking in front of us, like
Please.
on the path when we were hiking. And I don't know if the polar bear is my grandma or if it's connected to my grandma, so I'm wondering what you get on it.
The polar bear isn't your grandma. The polar bear is really a reflection of you walking with higher wisdom. Yeah, it makes me want to cry. Yeah. I feel like if you look up polar bear as a spirit animal, it's like top of the line. Polar bear is super high in God, brings a shit ton of fucking gifts. Did you look it up?
No, I haven't.
Because when I get a vision of you walking in the wood, this polar bear that you were speaking of, has like rainbows all over it. Do you see what I'm talking about?
That's cool.
Yeah. It's super magical. And this bear is protecting you on this journey. And it is about you walking with higher knowing. And this is part of your gifts. You absolutely 110% have that. And I'm asking, when you say, was that your grandmother? No. What made you think or feel it was your grandmother?
I don't know if I thought it was my grandma, but I felt like it was connected to my grandma because I hadn't seen the polar bear until she had passed away. And once she passed away is when I started seeing it for the first time.
Yeah. And was this last fall?
Yes. I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask God what's the God's honest truth about this polar bear for Rachel. I definitely get it's a spirit animal that is here for you right now, right, through these really rough ass times. Okay. And it's higher knowing, and it's also a reflection of your gifts. You're super gifted. Absolutely. Yeah. But I don't feel a connection with your grandma with this, which is interesting. So when I'm asking, does it have to do? No, has nothing to do with that. They tell me nothing at all. But okay, so I'm just going to ask, why would she connect this with that, or she was just wondering about that? Okay, here it is. It doesn't have anything literally to do with your grandma. What it did is it shifted you into a different heart space. Yeah, when we suffer, this is like the last several months of me, my family, my sickness, the house bullshit. Ooh, talk about heart space and being grateful. Fuck, man. Crazy ass, right? I thought I was grateful. I thought I got God, man. But when you go through really intense suffering and pain and misery, let me tell you, there ain't nothing like it to put you back in your heart for you to be grateful. And this is what's happening really in the world, right? Because people don't get it, right? I'm no different. I'm working on my shit too, right? So this is that's the difference. It's heart space. You opens your heart. It opens your heart in a new, different way, and it can't close back because the events created that. But that's Earth World, right? Yeah. That's Earth World. It's an amazing space, amazing planet. Whew. This fucking God is so amazing, so amazing. Makes me like, woo, who's it? Okay, so that said, you good?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, because it teaches all of us, things. Okay, Sophia Mac, you got any questions?
Online? No questions online at the moment.
Okay.
I have a couple of comments.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thanks.
From Jessie May. She says hi.
Hi,
She's,
Jessie May.
Joining us from North Dakota.
Cool.
In a snowstorm, which is neat.
Another snowstorm? Oh my God, I saw those pics that you put online. I'm jealous because it was like fucking 90 here, and I'm really a cold girl. I'm a chilly girl. I like the snow. I like the mountains. I like the north. Don't ask me what I'm doing in Virginia. Still haven't figured that out. Well, I came here with an ex. That's it. The blinded Venus and Libra. Oh my God. All right. So go ahead. What is she saying?
She says she's in the middle of another snowstorm without power. She says, happy spring, everybody.
Hey, happy spring. Okay, so here's a question for you, Jessie May. How many inches are supposed to come? Let us know, okay? I'm psyched to see the pics. I love the snow. You know, we had a cold winter here, but nothing like what's going on there, I don't feel. But for Virginia Beach, definitely cold winter, super cold, and a lot more snow than we normally get, wouldn't you say? Yeah, it was crazy this year. Okay, girl, well, hang in there, stay warm, and we love you, and thanks for coming. Thanks. Okay, so anyone else?
We have a whole bunch of people saying hi.
Hey, everybody, thanks for coming.
Nicole Ober shared a fact, or a cool fun fact about polar bear's fur, which she says is translucent, and she had a special comment for Rachel.
What does it say?
She says that she bets the bear's rainbow was reflecting your brilliant energy, Fairy Queen.
Oh, that's cool. Absolutely, Nicole. I totally agree with that. Right on, girl. Right on. That's awesome.
And then we have Nita Marmon who just asked a question.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Is it Nita?
Yes.
All right. Hi, Nita. Good to see you here, girl. All right. So what's the question?
She says she's recently moved and saged her home to remove any bad energy, and she's been good until her daughter lost her job. Does that mean that she didn't do something right?
No. Your daughter's journey is her journey, and your daughter's journey is her journey, and your journey is your journey, right? So you're not responsible for what happens with your daughter. Really, your daughter is, right? So my question is why. I want to know why you think that would happen. Because saging your house just clears out the energy, right? And I sage myself, as you guys have seen a lot, because you get energy on you. The more empathic or sensitive you are or spiritual you are, whether you consciously realize it or not, you get energy on you, right? Just like, you can go into the 7-Eleven. We've talked about this. You get in a shitty mood. You come back, you were in a good mood when you went in there, and you come out and you're like, what the fuck happened to my mood? So that's the same kind of thing. So saging your house is not going to harm anything, and it's going to be a good thing. The other thing you can do too is you can put stones in your house, different kinds of stones for protection, like amethyst, black tourmaline, right? Citrine, right? You can do spheres, you can do clear quartz crystal along with these things. And when I say a sphere, right, a circle, because a circle sends out the energy evenly. You know who's really fantastic with stones too? For those of you who are interested, one of my friends, Eve Bashoff, she's one of our people too. She's fantastic, super wisdom with stones and working with stones, incredible gifts, right? Just like all of us, we have all different gifts and magic to share with us. But if you happen to see Eve, you might want to ask her some questions, and she's so gracious, and I'm sure she will share her wisdom. But these things come in for you across the board, as well as for your daughter. Your daughter, did she tell you what your daughter's name is? By any chance? Does she have it?
No, she hasn't said her daughter's name, but I will let you know if she does.
Okay. I'm going to ask God what's the story with that. There's different energies going on here with that, Nita, but you're not responsible for that. It feels to me like she has some soul searching to do on a soul level. I don't really feel like she completely knows what she wants to do. And when we're not in something 110%, that's an avenue for our souls to check out of whatever it is that we're not into. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, relationships, if you're not in it 110%, there's you're at a less than space of it. So your soul can check out, or your partner can check out, check out meaning exit the relationship or exit the energy. And I feel like your daughter's soul is exiting out of that energy. There's some work for her to do on her soul. I feel like these times are challenging, and this is the energy. She really needs to figure out what she loves and who she is and what she wants to do, because I really don't feel like she's really in her passion for her in terms of what her dreams are. I feel like she's trying to figure it out. So this is a crossroads that will bring her to a new destiny, I feel. So while you may think it's bad, it's really not. It's all part of the grand design of God. Remember, universe, when one door closes, another door opens. And God doesn't do toxic for us, right? How that works is, thanks God for the best way to explain that. If it doesn't happen in the way that we think, it's because God has another plan. That's how to explain it, right? Or the way that we think it should be, right? That's part of the human challenge, man, thinking it needs to be like this, right? So don't stress it, all right? Enjoy your new home. Continue to clear it out. You can talk to her too, right? You can say, hey, what is it that you want to do? Get out a piece of paper. Ask God. Ask love. What is it that you love, right? And, and then, write it down on a piece of paper so she can get clear. It'll help her get clear both in earth world and metaphysically of what she wants to do, or avenues for her to explore. What does she love to do? It doesn't necessarily have to be a job, right? A list of a job. It could be, but she can also write a list of what she loves to do, because the answers for the new world are related to everything love and everything we love to do. And that's where her destiny, her new destiny is. But she's got some time to figure it out too. And you could ask God or love energy to bring it to you in dreams as well. The answer is in dreams. So if she's not comfortable with this, or she's not comfortable praying, she could do that as well. Ask and you shall receive, but you feel what you think she will be open to, and then let go and let God. That's it. And she's got it, right? And remember, God has her, or love energy has her, just like love energy has all of us. And we are all part of that same love energy. Okay? All right.
She says her daughter's name is Kayla and that she loves to draw.
Okay. There's your answer. She drawing all the time?
I don't know.
Okay. Let me know, Nita. Yeah. So the question becomes, how do I make that into a career? How do I make that, into what I love? Because there's so many different avenues artistically that she can go with this. Really neat stuff, and explore and be creative. So ask universe, ask love for those things for her, and have her do that too, right? The more we work together from love and pray on wonderful, amazing things, right? With our purest of intent, the more great things happen. Can't not. Okay. All right, girl. So, but I would still have her do the other things too, so she gets clear with what she wants. It's kind of like, I had a girl this morning, not answering any names, what is it that you want to do? She says to me, she thinks she wants to be with somebody, right? Or, she likes them, but she's not really in it. But her actions, if she's being with him a lot more, right, tell me that that's not really what's going on there. So I said to her, you need to get clear with what it is that you want. Do you want to be with this person? Is this what you want? Because what you're saying and what you're doing do not line up. So something's off here. What's the God's honest truth? The truth is, if you feel this way, great. If you don't, that's okay. Okay? But be clear and own it for you, right? So part of this is our earth world process of figuring it all out, really, for all of us, right? When we don't know, ask. Ask and you shall receive. The answer will always come in for you, okay? So same kind of thing, whether it's in a relationship or a job, same kind of thing. When we're not clear, things get jacked up, right? It's kind of like when I say, oh God, I think I want this, and I think I want that, and I think I want this, right? But I don't really put that much energy into it. And then, it's like a spinning wheel on your car that's stuck in mud. You never really move forward because you don't know what you want. And unless you put all the energy in from your heart into it, right? It's never going to roll in the healthiest, best way for you, because it can't, because it's not fueled by that highest end God energy of love, right? Because you're at a deficit somewhere in wanting it, right? Yeah. And so it's like, so then you're kind of stagnant and you can't move forward in that energy, and that's what happens. And a lot of times it's because we're not clear of what we want, in our dreams or with our lives, right? We're not 110% sure, and how you can tell is, right? Think about all the things that you love, Think about all the things that you love, right? The things that you love the most, right? So I love to do the shows, right? I love to talk God and do the work that I do here. I fucking love it, right? This is what I do, what I love to do, right? 110%, right? So think about those things that you love and how they feel to you. I love to help people, right? I love to be with my family. I love to be with my pets, right? I love love, right? So these are all things that feel fantastic for me. I love to travel, right? So all these feel 110% good for me, right? And when you do that, then you get a gauge on the energy of what that feels like to be 110% into it or not, right? So basically, when you do that, you know what that feels like. Do you see what I'm saying? And then when you're not in that space where you're like, yeah, I kind of like this job, you're not there in that energy because there's such a vast difference between how you feel about what you love to do and where you're standing now when you're like, yeah, I like this and I sort of like this, or I'm just doing a job to work, or or I don't really care for this person, or I sort of like this, or how do you feel about this dress? Well, I don't like that dress. Or how do you feel about this one over here? Well, I love that dress, right? Totally different energies. This is how you figure out in you where you're standing, the things that you love, how energy works, right? And you can also see it reflected in your reality. Because if you don't have enough energy to make that wheel spin, it's not going anywhere. And neither are your dreams, right? If those are in fact your dreams, but your dreams are what? What you truly love to do and are doing. And keep on doing, right? Like one of my issues when I was younger, right? I used to love to draw, but like my ex used to say to me, you used to draw. My other friends draw all the time, and I'd be like, yeah, I love to draw, but I got to be in the mood to draw. Well, with this God stuff, or what I do and teach 24/7, I'm in the mood to do this. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what I love to do. This is me in my element, right? This is what I fucking do. And while I love to draw, it's completely different energy than this, right? And I love to draw and paint and do amazing things, right? But this explains to you, right? And I did have a business, right? Doing art, and I still do art. I haven't done it in a while because this right now is my heart is fully engulfed in this, right? This is what I love to do. And like Steve Jobs says, when you love what you do, you'll be excellent at it. That's what he did, right? That's what he did. And Nikki Opera, I know you're going to say, you love Steve Jobs, Lynn. I'm just fucking with you, Nikki. You're right. I do love Steve Jobs, right? Because Steve Jobs fucking followed his heart, right? And then he got up and told everybody that he's followed his heart. And what I love about him is he didn't go to school. He didn't go to fucking college. He followed his heart. Really, he's a great example in Earth world that shows you that you don't got to go to fucking school like they're telling you. Your soul will lead you to the greatest dreams and your greatest destiny if you just fucking know, learn, and let it and listen in your heart. Do you see? Whoever you are. And sometimes it's multiple things. He did Pixar and Apple, the computer, all kinds of shit that was all related to what he loved to do, right? Yeah, cool as shit. That's for all of us. That's all of us. You see? When we love what we do, there's no stopping us, and we are the greatest at what we do. Because that's how it works with love, energy, and God. And you will be the most successful you could ever be if you are truly in your heart and doing it. Whatever it is that you came here to do. And multiple, right? A really good, I think it was Barry Bonds, right? A really good athlete from way back in, like when I was a kid or in the 80s, right? I think he was a baseball player, a football player, and a basketball player. I might be wrong, but I think he did 3 different sports and was great at them. That was his fucking thing. He came into here to do it. It was his soul's destiny. When your soul is on your destiny, you're on fire, man. You're on fire. That's what that passion is, right? All right. All right, so that said, now you all know how to read energy a little bit differently in this way for these things and your dreams and your gifts and your tools and your mad God skills and your mad greatest life. Mad meaning in a positive, healthy way, right? Okay, so what time we got? Where are we now?
It's 8:43.
Okay.
Oh.
You good, girl?
Yeah, I gotta go in a little bit.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to be here this long.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it's usually a little longer show, but go ahead.
I do want to say that Nita says that yes, her daughter draws all the time, and what you were saying sounds like her postal job versus her business.
Her what?
Her business.
What I was saying was what?
About not having passion or not being passionate about it.
Yeah, so it makes sense, right? So she's agreeing.
Yes.
Yeah, go girl, go. Your daughter has the ability to be a star. She just has to find it. We all do. We all do. You know, the whole key is exactly what Steve Jobs says. Listen to your heart, not the people fucking out here, right? Telling you what you need to do. No. It's one thing if you ask them for guidance, right? We talked about that, right? Your heart tells you. Sometimes the answers will come through the people, but you will know because you ask God for something and then the answer will come through the person. It's not unsolicited advice. Do you see what I'm saying? In a way, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then you go, oh, that's my answer, right? Just might not be in the way that you think. Like you could go to a restaurant and you go somewhere and you hear somebody next to you on the table talking and you'll know that that's God bringing the answer to you through that. And we just did that show on Friday, right? Where I didn't know exactly what Dandelion did for people health-wise, right? And I asked God and then instantly Eve comes on and tells us what it does, right? And who was that? Angela or I can't remember.
I think so.
Who asked about it. She said that she felt like she needed Dandelion, right? So that's her soul calling it in. And then she said, why do I need this? And I said, you need this for A, B, C, D, F, G, but I didn't have the answer in technical earth world for health reasons, right? Of why she needed that, right? But I asked God for it right here on the show, and then what happens? God brings it. Same thing for Nikki Opper with the tanning oil. Same thing, right? We asked. I said, well, there's one brand that I can think of. I think it was Neutrogena. I said to her, but the more holistic you're going to go with this, and more natural you're going to go with that, the better. And then I said, I couldn't think of it, and then my sister came up with something. We asked God, right? We ask love. The answer always comes. It doesn't have to come directly from me. It comes from wherever universe brings it in from, because the universe is infinite, and this is how we all work together and are part of that same love energy. It's fucking fascinating, really, really incredible. Okay, so that said, all right, thanks, Nita. And who else?
We got Jessie May. She said that they got 40 inches of snow last week and 20 inches between yesterday and today. She said she's ready for green grass and flowers. She also said that she's a birth assistant for home births here in North Dakota, and they have a mama that's ready to pop. So she's praying that the electricity comes back on before the baby comes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool shit, Jessie May. Thanks for sharing. She got 40 inches of snow last week and 20 more inches. Yeah. That's so cool. That's my kind of snow. Yeah. I love that. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, so say a prayer. Let go and let God. Everything will be fine. All right, girl? Don't make yourself fucking crazy about it, because then you create that. I know you know. All right. Let's see. Any last questions for tonight?
We got one more online.
Okay.
You got us one? Yeah. So it's Emily Gonzalez.
Okay.
She says, hi, Lynn and everyone. This last week, my car's 3-month-old battery went dead, and the auto mechanic put another new battery in, and it went dead again. They can't figure out what's draining her 2 new batteries, and she's wondering if you pick up on what's going on with her car and the batteries.
I feel like there's a short in the starter. It's fucking funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have them look into that. Okay. There's something about either when you turn it, it doesn't click or it doesn't turn over, and it drains the energy, or there's some kind of short going on in there. So FYI, let me know what happens, okay? But that's what they're telling me. Okay. And any last question for you? Or is there another one online too?
Nope, we're done.
Okay. Any last question for you, Liza?
No.
Okay. All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to tell you about what we were going to talk about into the future, so this might be a few minutes. And Liza, if you need to go, you're more than welcome to go. Okay?
Thank you.
I didn't want to keep you here.
No, it's okay. I rode my bike, so I don't want to be riding home that dark.
Yeah. Go.
All right, thank you. I had a great time.
Okay.
Time to be here.
Next time you want to come, if you want to come and chill with us every show or whenever, there are all of our shows are on Sunday nights at 7:15, Wednesday nights at 7:15, and Friday nights at 7:15.
My mind is
All right. Well, they're all 3 different shows. They're all based in the same stuff: love, energy, God, universe.
I can find you online.
You can find us online as well, like everybody here online, or you can come here in person too.
Okay.
Okay. And come anytime, right?
Thank you.
Thanks. You learned so much. All right. Thank you. We had a great time with you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, lady.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what else we were going to talk about? Okay, we were talking about what's going on in the world. Okay. So, thanks God for bringing me into this space. I'm going to do a little bit of sage. If you guys have some time, I'm going to ask God that I make it. We talk about this in the 15 minutes that we got here, because I don't want to keep you guys here all night. What I'm picking up on from the universe, right? That guided by, there's a lot of different videos and a lot of different things. We've talked about it being Luciferian energy that is the issue across the world, and this is truth of God. Do you need something?
My bike was out front and it's gone.
Somebody steal it?
I would hope not. I didn't think somebody would steal it out here.
Was it right out there?
Yeah, like right in front of here.
I can go help her.
All right. So, anyways, her bike was stolen. Let's ask God to find that bike. There was a guy who came over here. I saw him, and I was wondering what he was doing. Yeah. Tell her we'll help her if she needs a ride. We'll help her out, okay? Yeah. All right. God in heaven, let her get her bike back, please, from love. Apparently, Eliza had her bike outside. If I knew that she was leaving it out there, I would have told her to bring it in, Jesus. It never ends, right? This craziness never ends. So she had her bike stolen. She can't get home, so she might have to stay here, and we'll help her get home or something. But God, thanks for the best solution from love in the purest form for her, that she gets her bike back and that maybe somebody took it in like Jennifer took it to the other space. And thank you, God, for that for us. So I'm just going to do a little sage here. I like it pretty more smoky. All right. Whew. Thanks, God, for taking care of that for us and for her. All right. So I'm going to talk about the collective and the stuff that has come in, okay, and some of the stuff that you need to know. The world is super delusional, so and they're already trying to infiltrate. It's already like behind the scenes, all right. What's happening is they're secretly working on they're fighting over the financial market with Russia and China and basically the World Forum of governments and darkness, so to speak, because now there is a great propensity for the dollar to be worth a whole lot less. As you know, many of you know, the grand plan is the Great Reset. So they're going to try to reset the financial system, as you know, and everyone says it's conspiracy theory. It is not. It is not. It's bullshit. So they are going to try to do this. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for all of these things. Absolutely 110%, right? And if you don't know how that is in the future, we'll talk about this stuff. But we've already talked about this a lot, right? All right, so you got to prepare for that. The grand design is they're already in the process of duking it out for whether it's going to be the ruble, is it, or I'm not sure if that's the Russian word for their currency, or the yen. I think that is for China, because they're going to try to instill a digital system here, right? One of the people that I follow every now and then, guided by God, because I this is what I do. I just ask and receive with God. Hold on one second. Did she find her bike?
No.
The guy stole it.
I think so.
That motherfucker, I saw him out there, and I was like, who is that guy? Who is that guy? But to me, she should have just asked if she could bring it in. So thank you, God, for handling this now, please. What we're going to do is, because that's not the right shit, so we're just going to give it to God to take care of it. Thank you, God, for that for us from love. Okay, so that said, what they're trying to do with the financial market, does she need a ride?
She's trying to figure one out, but I told her
if she can't get one. Okay. All right. As soon as we finish our show. Okay. Yeah. All right. Terrific. Thank you, Rachel. Mm-hmm. Thanks. All right. Thanks, God, for taking care of her now. Please, if she can get a ride that is best for her, thank you, God, for that for us. And if we need to help, then by all means, from love, do your thing, God, and handle this now, please, from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, and return her bike to her now, please, in the best way for us, and all or something better, in the best condition that it could be, from love. Or bring her a new one. Thank you, God, for that for her and us. In the best way for us and all or something better. Thank you, God, for that for us. Okay, so they're currently, one of the women, one person that I like to follow, I think her name is, occasionally I'll check in to see what she has to say, and she's a financial guru. She's really great at what she does. Her name is Lynette Zhang. If you can Google her, definitely, because she will tell you pretty much what I am telling you here, right? The wisdom comes from her. In this particular case, God tells me it is true. I'm sharing it with you, okay? Because what happens, I ask God what's coming. And then God puts this video on my phone. And then God says, somebody send me this video or this information or that article or, so, and this is how it works, right? All right, ask and you shall receive. What's the God's honest truth? What's coming? What's going on, right? She's predicting 2023, and it absolutely feels right to me because they're trying to destroy all the economy by getting everybody at odds with the Black Lives Matter and the liberal Democrat bullshit and all the politics bullshit and the propaganda, all this. They're just, and letting all the illegal aliens in the country and cutting, and all the shit that Joe Biden has done, right? All of this is designed, as it has been in other countries, designed to destroy the economy here so that they can take it over, right? So the dollar, they're working on making the dollar value less, right? But right now, Russia is one of the energies that is in the fight for the world currency, right? I don't ever expect Vladimir Putin to go down without a fight. That's not how Vladimir Putin is, right? And we talked about what has come in with him, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, right? A lot of people think he's dark, and the same thing with all the stuff about Ukraine and the attack on Ukraine. So much of it is bullshit and lies, okay? Just so you know, and it's designed by higher knowing, right? In terms of Vladimir Putin is really an agent, what they're saying, an agent of the light, okay? Hard to believe, right? Because of the past, but you see the nature of God is so unique, it has to be wiser than the darkness, and that's what love energy is. It has all the power, right? So we've talked about Vladimir Putin being, somebody who's standing up against this nasty force, and if you read some of the stuff, you'll hear him in his statements say that the Western government is not, the government of the United States is not what you think it is. If you think that this man has not been in the KGB for years and doesn't know what the fuck is going on, he's a master spy, people. He does know exactly what's going on. And then being in the highest levels of Russian government, you got to be a fucking idiot if you don't think that he doesn't know the truth about what's going on over here in America. And all of us are sitting here like, oh, look at the TV show, it's like they're telling us this is happening, and we all fucking buy into it like fucking idiots. And this is the fucking problem, right? It's this disconnect from reality. We all want to believe that this is going to change and that we can go back to the old ways. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? So when I talk about Vladimir Putin, okay, right, he's in the battle now with the world currency, with the yen, right? And there are some other countries too that are all involved in this as well, right? And it's crazy shit, right? And so what's happening is they're trying they're vying for world currency. So the dollar is going to tank, right? So your best bet is to have assets that are in physical reality, right? And the prediction that Lynette says is 2023. I was feeling and picking up on that it was going to be towards the Olympics, but things didn't work out for the darkness in quite the same way. So as everything with God is always changing, so does the timelines, right? Just like us, we make a choice, then we go off on a different direction, right? That's the nature of God and love. So across the board, this is what's happening now. They're going to try to instill a new world currency, right? And how they're going to do it, they're going to destroy the economy. And if you take a look at the videos that you can see in China, right? And I'm not talking about you have to be a Republican or a Donald Trump lover. This is so far beyond all of the politics of drama and bullshit and the propaganda that you're feeding you. It doesn't mean that I don't have feelings for the Ukraine people, but that's not the God's honest truth about what's going on in the whole picture of everything that is God. Send love energy to the people of Ukraine, right? Send them great things, right? But one of the things, right, is for some of you to look into is about the person who's running that country right now, and what relationship he has with other people in the American government right now in the presidency. Take a look at that, right? See, I'm going to give you things that you can look up and start investigating so that you can understand here that this is no fucking joke. What's going on here behind the scenes is absolutely 110% the Great Reset, right? And you can look on the sites of so many of these sites have it even posted, like the WHO and their plans, right? All of these people, they're up to this, to their fucking throats, man. All of this. Okay, so this is like creep shit, absolute creep shit, and it's darkness, and this plan has been in effect for a really long fucking time, right? Really long time, right? And so what she's saying is this world currency is going to come in, right? They're going to try to make it the yen, right? Because that's because China is really behind all this, along with the elites. We're talking about the Clintons. We're talking about BlackRock. We're talking about Vanguard. And these are all from videos that people have said. So take a look at this shit, because it turns out, right, a lot of people don't know this stuff. There's major companies all across the world that are owned by all these other companies, right? And then the demons that are behind them are the Clintons, right? George Soros, right? There's two other ones. So start looking into this, right? Because you're going to find, and then you feel in your heart what the fucking truth is, right? And they'll tell you they're trying to take over all that is going on here. And so there is so much truth in this, but you must feel it in your heart. You must do the research. And I'm telling you what universe is telling me, so that what the God's honest truth is, the stuff that I'm saying here, look it up. Find out what the truth is, right? Because I'm sharing it with you for that exact reason. But it's up to you to feel in your heart what the truth is, so you know how to prepare for what is coming, right? Okay, so, and what is actually happening behind the scenes, because all the TV programs, right, or everything's fucking owned by darkness, right? It's been paid off, it's been bribed, it's been shot, it's been killed, right? You know, you name it. If they can get to you, they'll stop you, okay? This is how this shit is working, okay? This is what's going on. So the question becomes, how do the people save the people from this, right? And this is where we all come together, and I'm going to talk about that, if not this week, right? If I have enough time. If not this week, then I'll talk about it next week, because here's the deal. I want to get back into what Lynette says is going to happen with the financial system. And this, too, feels right on to me, okay? Just like everything I've said here, right? All right, this, too, feels right on to me, all right? And what she said is, they're going to destroy the economy. It's already happening, right? Look at California. They're doing a whole mini out there. The experiments that they did in Texas when Texas lost power, right? So make sure you have everything that you need, as much of it as possible, so you can trade, right? And then come together from love for each other if you have any of these challenges, because shit is hitting the fan into the future. And as long as you have God, you have everything, and you will be super protected. Remember that. What I teach is the most powerful gift beyond all of this that I can give you, because you're going to ask love to take care of you. You're going to ask love for everything that you need. You're going to ask love to protect you. Yeah, this is big shit, right? This is why we're doing this. Absolutely, right? So this said, okay, they're doing all this all over the place, right? They've taken over world leaders. Justin Trudeau, Australia, Britain, right? All of them. The only one that doesn't appear to be really taken over is who? Vladdy. Yeah, because he's onto this shit. Why is that? Why is it that he is the only guy with a backbone? Yeah, interesting shit, right? You got to ask yourself, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that out there. We've talked about Vladimir Putin has a great propensity, right? And to be part of the light. Remember that. He's no fucking idiot. Beyond that, he's no idiot, right? There's a karmic agreement there with him, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down, how they try to paint him, how they try to destroy him, because they're already trying to. And it doesn't mean that he didn't do toxic in the past, right? It doesn't mean that. Does every single one of you has done shit in the past, haven't you? Yeah. So does that mean you're a shitty person for the rest of your fucking life? And that you should be condemned to hell and die and be shot on at the stake? They did the same fucking thing to Osama bin Laden and that bullshit. Yeah, right? What is the real truth? Do you guys fucking know? Or did you just jump on the fucking train of this crazy ass shit that the government told us, right? Was the truth, right? Was the truth. And then what was the ass kicker about that, right? Was that when they had, when they were, everybody was raving about how they killed him and the SEAL team went in there, and I was like, for Christ's fucking sake, this man is a person who has a family. Where is your fucking compassion? Yeah. This is the toxic bullshit of the world that we live in. This is all the shit that has to go, right? So it's to give you a different perspective of a way of seeing. I remember feeling for his family, right? It doesn't mean that necessarily that the guy wasn't toxic, right? But do you even know the God's honest truth about what really happened there? And then we make these assessments about what we think is going on and what the media fucking shows us, right? Did you even ask God? Do any of us? Do these people fucking out here? Think about that. Yeah. What's the God's honest truth about all this, God? Watch your phone. Watch what's going on. Watch the information you get, the dreams you get, right? Yeah. No shit, man. This is crazy stuff, but it's real. It's real. Just as well as darkness, there is darkness and there is light. Okay? So, all right, going back to Lynette, what she is saying is they've done all this grand plan to destroy all of this. And what they're going to do is they're going to destroy the financial system. The small businesses are already going down, right? And this is all behind the scenes. You don't know about all this homeless people, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this, in a way, thanks God for the best way for me to say it. I know people who are living in storage facilities, okay? I know at least 3 people who are living in storage facilities because they don't have a fucking house, okay? Right? That's big shit. That's big shit. Never in my life have I seen anything like this, right? So this is the shit that's happening. If you look at, if you actually go to these places like California, see what's really happening out in the reality. People are sending me, messages, and they're saying the United States government is all involved with all kinds of fucked up shit here in our country. We want you to know that, Lynn. Yeah. So I have to get into that to find out more about that, but I haven't had the time before coming on this live to do that. But I know that that's true. Even Vladimir Putin says your government isn't what you think is going on, and this is bullshit, right? So do your homework. Ask God to lead you to all the avenues, the God's honest truth here, so you guys really know and can prepare for what's coming. Because in the end, it's going to be you and me and us who's going to change what the fuck is happening here, right? With the power of God and the power of love. And we're going to come together and make sure that we have everything we need, and we are going to stop the darkness. Okay, so Lynette says, what's going to happen is they're going to take away the food and the electricity and the medical care or whatever and everything that has to do with everything that is your needs and the dollars. So, and they're going to tax you just like they're already doing, and the debt, and they're going to take away everything you own, including their house, your home, right? And then the dollar's going to drop. You're going to have nothing, right? This is the plan. And then they're going to come and they're going to say, hey, we'll give you some money. You just got to come on to our new system and we'll give you the money. But it will not be without an expense. You will have to, if you haven't lost your home, your business, your job, your items, your things, they will take it from you. They will say, well, then we own your house now. You don't own your house. We own your house now. And you have to give up all these things if you want to be like a warden of the state or government, so to speak, right? Where the government takes care of you. They're going to offer you money. They're going to offer you health care. They're going to offer you food. They're going to offer you all the things that you don't have. How do we change that? Because we got to stand up to this. We cannot allow this to happen, right? So but the biggest challenge is greed, right? And not having anything. But if we all work together with love and work with God, then we create our greatest things, everything that we need here, so that they can't destroy us, you see? And we help each other, right? Just like there will at some point have to be violence, and it's coming. It's coming like a motherfucker, because this will not be stopped in Earth world without that. It doesn't mean there's going to be an atomic bomb, because the key here is they have to blow it up. They have to blow the things up that they want to so preserve with global warming, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right? But back in, was it World War II? That one Japanese guy,
Grass.
Yeah. I think it was World War II. The one general in Japan said, he said, you'll never be able to take over America because behind every blade of grass is a gun. So if you guys don't have weapons and guns, you best be getting them now, regardless of what the fucking laws are, because it's up to you to stop this for you. So be wise. Ask God what you should do. Ask love, right? So this all said, these are all ways to protect you, right? To protect you. Right? So that's why they said, that's why America is going to be so hard to take over. And not only that, you have all these people who are patriots, all these people who are never going to give up their dreams. Never. America is the land of fucking freedom. And so it will be for the world as well if America makes a stand. This is where it's who really has the balls, who has the audacity to stand up and say, fuck this shit, like Vladimir Putin, just like Vladimir Putin. You see? All these people folding, right? None of these protests out here are really going to help. You can't fight this kind of darkness with a fucking protest. It doesn't care. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a heart, right? So your heart has to grab its best energy from God and higher knowing of its most wickedest form, which is 100 times worse than the darkness. It is all the power of God. Well, like when a lion won't let you have his steak or you threaten him, he's coming out at you with huge fucking rage, right? From higher knowing of love, right? Which is all the power. You cannot fight darkness without knowing and having the language that the darkness understands and the tools to do it. You cannot fight darkness in the traditional way that people think of doing so with love. You must go to God. You must go to higher knowing, because that system is part of this. But the difference is, it's the difference between love and fear. Fear destroys everything. Love creates everything, right? Yeah. Heavy shit. Heavy shit. And this is for all of us, man. This is for all of us. The shit is coming, all right? Because by 2030, they want to have all this shit together and done and on its way, right? Wow. Wow, right? Gives you a heads up, right? But all this grand plan of the shit that they're doing out here is right on. Everything from the CVAX to the whole plan of everything to destroy the people, to take over the world, because it's darkness. It's massive darkness, okay? So what's going to happen is they're going to offer you a financial plan. They're going to say, sign on to our system. It's free. Is anything ever really free? What does Saturn's Earth world teach you? Fuck no! Fuck no! They're going to make you governmental slaves. And if you want to know what that's like, take a look at China. Start looking at the videos in China. They're fucking locking people in. They're smashing their dogs they're smashing people. They're killing them in the streets with weapons, with fucking sticks. They're pets. Fuck. They're people. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at these things, people. It's fucking horrible. Get a clue. We can't stop. We can't keep hiding from the truth. We can't keep disconnecting to it, right? Yeah, this shit is real, man. This China government is basically taking over ours. It is the darkness. And this must be stopped. And people say, we're going to vote in a new president. Are you fucking kidding me? You're never going to vote in a new president. Everybody on the planet's been bought the fuck out. Truth. Yeah. So when you think that system's going to work, you are fuck delusional. Beyond fuck delusional. Because you cannot fight this darkness in the way that we have done in the past. It must be from here. The solutions are from here. Ask God, ask love, get prepared, ask for whatever you need from love. Because we're going to be coming together for ourselves into the future, right? And to change this world, right? Because this is just like, when you think about it, what Hitler did. Absolutely 110%. And when the people get on that train and get it, oh boy, the fucking shit's going to hit the fan. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. I love baby. Oh yeah, mom is getting upset about this. I know. she's helping to comfort me. Right? Right, love? I think she might have to go to the bathroom. Anyways, so if one of you guys could help with that would be great. Okay, so that said, so they're going to offer you this, and they're going to keep doing incentives after incentives till you give up everything and you have, like they say, you're going to have nothing and you're going to be happy. Well, let me tell you about that. That you're going to have nothing and be happy. No, not a chance in hell. Earth world, look at it. It's all about things, right? They're not getting health care in China, right? They're not getting food in China. They have all this food on the docks that they're not giving the people, and they're telling them it's infected with COVID shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Right? They're locking people in their houses. There's no food. They're putting refrigerators on the balconies. They're screaming in the streets. They're jumping from the buildings like in the World Trade Center. No shit. Fucking look this shit up, man. Look it up. Ask God if this is the truth. Ask love. Ask. Creepy shit, man. Creepy fucking shit, right? But remember, you have all the power here, right? So ask God what to do, right? And the answers will come, and we will work together, and we will change this, because there's a whole bunch of great energy coming in, right? And it is up to us to change the crap that's going on here. But to see all these horror things, don't be thinking for 1 minute that it isn't happening and it isn't coming, because it's everywhere, all around the world. They'll tell you. I got people sending me shit in Australia, people from Israel, people from Germany, right? People from, and these aren't just people I don't know. These are people who contact me on and off. Some of them are people I grew up with, right? Who's on the border of Ukraine and has a farm out on the border of Germany and Ukraine. Yeah. Out there. Yeah. Crazy shit, right? So, I mean, and people from England, London, right? So, all over this country too, right? So this darkness is really, really crazy ass shit. But when you have the power of God and love, you have all the power, right? So universe will guide us, and it will guide us all. Love will guide us all, and you will know. But check this shit out, so so that you can prepare for you, prepare for your family, and start doing this work. Meaning, talk to God, talk to love, because the more we do this work, the more we become a united force to change the world. And this is one of the reasons why I was talking about in the future, as soon as God guides me to whatever my next move is, because like you, I'm waiting. I know I've been working on stuff, and I'm feeling some energies, and you stock up on stuff, you put together stuff, you figure out where you want to put things and what you want to do, and you ask God, and you talk to God, you talk to love all the time, okay? And you pray on everything for the best world for us, for the best from love, that we change all of this that is happening, and we're free of this darkness, right? And this is how you do it, okay? And so for now, we prepare, right? And we trust the universe, and you will find your allies and your friends all within this, just like we are for each other, okay? Just like we are for each other. And let me just see here, because there was more information that they were telling me, all right? And the whole thing is, you don't have to join in their financial system. So lots of shit's going to go down, between, how many more bills you're going to pay, how many more taxes, how many businesses are going to go under. All of these things are decisions into the future that you're going to make have to make yourselves, right? And, so how do you do that? You ask God, what's the best thing to do? And then ultimately the people are and will and have to come together. It'd be great if we could just, maybe, God, you could design a SEAL team to take this shit out. The best one, the God SEAL team, right? From love, to take this darkness out. And thank you, God, for that for us, from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. This said, you don't have to do the financial system if you grow your own stuff, you do all the other stuff, because this is going to take time. That's how Saturn's Earth world works, right? But don't make no mistake, they're doing it, and it's going to be a great show in terms of it's unprecedented times, right? So in terms of, what happens with Vladimir Putin, what happens with world governments, what they're going to try to tell people, right? Because this is incredible, incredible stuff. But you remember, the most important gift I can give you is what I talked about giving my children. And it's your gift of talking and working with God or love. That's it. That's all you need. And you will have everything you need. And this, I guarantee, if you do this fucking work, there's no way you can't. There's no way you can't, right? I fucking live this every day. Every day. Now I've had to morph and change, absolutely, for the new destiny that I have. Same thing with all of us. And we are going down that road, and we're going down it together. Thank God for that. Thank God that we have each other, and thank God that we have love, right? Because we got this. We got this. Okay, so I just wanted to share this with you so you guys can get this information, take a look at it, look into it, man, because nothing is the way that you see it. And they're very possibly gonna shut down credit cards and all these things, electrical things, everything from food to this to that. They have a whole grand plan that they're secretly planning behind the scenes, and then when they tell you you're gonna love having nothing, they're full of shit. Nothing is further from the truth, and it's just like what they're gonna do in China, and it's just like it's very much Nazi Germany. No shit. And it's coming. It's coming fucking hardcore. You want to see what China is really about? Take a look. Start doing some research, man, because there's some fucking incredible darkness. And you can't give the darkness even a speck of your fucking heart. You have to fight the darkness from within you with your God connection of the darkness that it is, man. Yeah. Incredible stuff. But this is why we have Aries energy. This is why we have God. This is why we have love. This is why we have all the gifts that we have. The universe has got us. Okay, so tonight, that was really what I wanted to share with you tonight, but I also want to tell you it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. And that the people that you might think are your old world enemies are not those people, right? Just like Hollywood is dead. All those fucking Hollywood people are disgusting, absolutely disgusting, right? And they're all in this dark energy, right? Because the new Hollywood is you. It's me. It's humanitarian work. It's being in your heart. It's doing things from love. It's helping the people. This is the new Hollywood. This show is that. The new Hollywood, right? When I was a kid, I used to think, oh, God, I want to be a movie star. I want to be a movie star. My mother would yell at me. She'd be like, you can't be that. And I was like, yeah, I want to be a movie star. And I'm thinking, I want to be a movie star like that. No, this is a totally different movie star. A movie star for the new world, right? I'm thinking I'm going to be on TV. Who the fuck would have thought of it like this back then when I was in the 60s and 70s, right? Right? A movie star, right? This is the new famous. The new famous is the work that we are going into here, the humanitarian work, the new world, because the new beautiful is your heart. It's your heart. Wicked cool stuff, isn't it? Amazing. What an exciting world is coming, right? Where the people are going to come together and it's going to change everything from all over the world. So, and once again, love wins. Love wins. But doesn't mean that we don't got to get our boots on and go through the mud and that we're not going to have to be warriors, right? But our best tools are always with God. Ask and you shall receive everything you need, all right? Okay, I love you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Right Thing Show, all right? Hang in there. Many blessings, but look up these people. Look up Lynette Zhang. She has a lot of cool stuff, to watch, what to invest in, right? Gold and silver, and I've learned a lot of stuff from her, guided by God through this whole time, as well as stocking up food. There's some stuff on, there's a show, I think a YouTube thing, I think it's City Preppers has some good guidance. There's some other prepper shows too that have some good guidance. Think about what you would need if your electricity didn't work or your heat doesn't work, right? Like thermal blankets and candles and things like that. Even if you don't ever use them, you will be glad that you have them if ever it comes that you need them. And that's about Saturn. That's about preparing in Saturn's Earth world. You want to balance Earth world with metaphysical, right? So you can be in your best element always with God and love, always here in Earth world, okay? Okay, so Wednesday night, 7:15, Right Thing from Love. That's the show. The next show we're going to be on. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys so much. God bless you all, and stay safe. Just work with God, and I know you will be. Thanks so much. See you Wednesday.